What is going on, everybody? We are back again with the eZaango podcast. This is episode 2, and it's the first one in our lovely new studio. And I'd love to welcome our guest. You will know him, Mr. Con over here. How are you?
Hey guys, how are you? Well, really happy to be here. And the first one, in the new studio. Oops, sorry.
That's all right, bro. That's all right.
No,
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Sorry.
I'm also joined by eZaango, who you also well know. He's our marketing executive, and I thought he'd be able to bring some value to this conversation as well, considering the expertise that Con has in the line. So, yeah, how nice is this, huh?
Very nice, very nice. I really like it. You've done well, guys. You've done really well. It's really
all
good.
right. So I hope to get some art on the wall, TV up there for virtual ones.
And this is the future, guys. Podcasting is the future of marketing and promotions. It is.
And you're the first guest in this room as well.
I'm going to put this on my profile. First guest.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
I do. I listen to. I mean, I'm trying to listen to a bit more audiobooks, but podcasts I do. There's a few, not a lot, but there's a few that I do follow here and there. Yeah, not many in the NDIS industry, to be honest. More those sort of general, sort of personal development ones. Those type of ones. Yeah. Of course, the ones in LinkedIn. I listen to a couple of LinkedIn ones. LinkedIn Informed is one I listen to. It's from the UK.
Okay.
The personal development ones. Who is one? I can't remember. You got me on the spot here, but I can't remember. But I haven't listened to it for a while. But I do a lot more on the social media side of it.
Yeah,
a lot in the AI at the moment. I listen to a lot of AI ones.
Yeah, right.
I'm listening to an audiobook about Claude AI and it's sort of how it started up and how it sort of evolved and how it became what it is now.
Yeah, Claude's awesome. Claude's awesome.
Right.
We run our entire internal CRM was built by Claude.
Beautiful.
We set it up like last week, and literally every single department runs from the one.
Did you do it, Abs, or something?
Yeah, I did it.
Mate.
Yeah, so
we have to talk because I need something like that. I do.
Yeah, maybe we'll set up a demo sometime later. But
I need to get,
yeah, so we're able to kind of like organize all of our social media, all of our events, calendars, pipelines for all departments. On one spot.
Yeah, we use I mainly use it as in part of marketing to kind of organize everything. I'd rather not let it think for me because that's when things go a bit sideways. But if you can get my thoughts out there and in a coherent manner, that's exactly what we're looking for in marketing. If you can teach it how we talk naturally, I think you can get your thoughts out there. And the AI really
I think it's getting there, but I really do. I think it's getting there, and I'll use it a lot too, as you know, and for a lot of my posting. But I always have to go in there and sort of adjust it and refine it for my tone and my brand and all that. But I think the more and more it's going in the future, it's getting better and it's starting to tune to the person, the individual.
Do you use ChatGPT? Do you use Anthropic?
Look, I was a ChatGPT, a fan. Big. I mean, I was one of the probably early ones in Australia. I got it in October 2022. I got it, so I was one of the first things in Australia to subscribe. I want to say first, yeah, it was a couple of million of us, but it was one of the first times that it came to Australia. I enjoyed ChatGPT, but what I didn't like about ChatGPT, and this is more about values and principles, the way it sort of has evolved over the last couple of months and years, the way it sort of decided not to, but also the way it decided not to put in the guardrails that Anthropic decided to do. And then when Pentagon and Anthropic had a bit of a falling out, I started realising and thinking, you know what, I want to go where there's been more principles involved, values.
Definitely.
So that's why I moved to Claude. And you know what, the best thing I've ever done. Claude's just been amazing for me. It has been amazing.
If you wanted to speed up the understanding of your tone, so this is what I did when I set up. Are you connected with your 365 on it?
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll share the skill with you.
Okay, there's a skill?
So I created a skill for the whole team because we've kind of brought everyone onto Anthropic. And it essentially what it does is it reads your previous like 25 to 30 emails and then understands, and then every time you ask it to have a look at my inbox, see what needs to be replied to, if you run like daily checks or repetitive actions, it will draft the email in the tone to which you've responded to similar emails. Because realistically, like in a kind of a very streamlined profession where you have one job and you do it really well, which is exactly what you do, right? Like there's multifacets, but you'll only get 3 to 4, let's say, like categories of email, right? That's like the skill is intentionally designed in such a way that like it wouldn't matter for your Claude to understand my emails, right? Because my emails are completely different to yours. So it's built in a way where you'll just ask it to read it, and it'll just open up Chrome, and it'll put the email in your drafts already in Outlook or Gmail or wherever.
Okay, I've got to get this skill. Yeah, it's good.
I'll share it with you.
What I did with mine when I moved across, I love my YouTube. I watch little YouTube snippets. and I saw this guy how he converted from ChatGPT to Claude. So you download all your ChatGPT data and all the personalization stuff. You just carry it across to Claude.
Yeah.
As soon as I did that and I started using Claude, I was amazed how quickly it understood who
Big
I
time.
was. Yeah, big time.
Big time.
Very quickly understood who I was.
Yeah.
Was able to position my posts, my brand, and all that. It was just amazing. And I thought, this is great.
Yeah.
More people need to know about how you can do that.
Big time.
Yeah, big time.
Big
It's
time,
really,
big time,
really
big time.
good. Yeah.
Anthropic actually, I don't know if they were doing it at the time when you switched over, but they also provide a prompt
Yes.
within the system
Yes,
itself,
yes, I did,
where
yeah.
where you can paste it into a
Correct.
different AI
Yep,
model
that's
and bring
right,
it
yeah.
all over. Yeah.
I've got to get on to now what I'm starting to file more because I don't get as much time these days, but I want to get into the code, the Claude code.
Yeah.
I'm not explored Claude code
Yeah.
a lot. I do it with co-work and I use Claude
Yep.
the chat,
Chat,
but
yeah.
not the code. The code. I got to
Yeah.
get to code. I use another application now. As you know, I've got the NDIS events directory, which is going really, really well. So I created that using an app called Manus AI, which is
Yes.
a vibe coding app, which is
Yeah,
similar
yeah,
to
yeah.
Lovable and Replit and all
Yep,
that.
yep.
But I like Manus, the way it does things.
Yeah, Manus is awesome.
Yeah, so I use Manus, and that's just what it's done with this events directory. And every time
Yeah.
I give it some enhancements,
Yeah.
it does them automatically for me. It's just been amazing. So
Yeah.
that directory is going really well.
Code is where the magic is.
Yeah, really?
is what-
So I've
yeah.
got to go to code. Okay,
Yeah.
I've got to go there.
You got to check it out. You
Okay,
gotta check
I'll
it
do
out.
that. We
There's
have,
like
we have to talk more. We have to talk more.
We will. I watched I use YouTube videos as
Yeah, yeah, of
audiobooks,
course.
right? So like I think YouTube Premium was one of the best investments I
It
ever
is,
made.
it is.
And there was like this 4 or 5 hour video where it's like a total recap of Claude Code, and I'll send that to you as well.
Okay, yeah.
I'll send that to you, and I'll
Okay.
put it in the description of this.
Yeah, put it, yeah. Well, I
of
think
this
people love to see
podcast
that,
wherever
yeah.
it goes out. Can I do
That'd
that?
be awesome.
Yeah,
Can I do that?
of course.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description of this video too.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, Code is where the magic is. Code is where the magic is.
Good.
So like,
All right.
I moved over
You
from.
Convince me.
Yeah, and we had like an informal brand guidelines. I got Claude to create a complete PDF of the entire eZaango brand into one document. So now when I need any sort of like creative idea, I can just chuck in this PDF. It's not even a skill, because sometimes when you transfer a skill over to another person, it doesn't read it as well.
And guys, what you guys are describing here, this is the kind of stuff we need to get out more into the industry.
That's exactly where I was going to go.
There is, I saw a post the other day about, I was a conversation linked in with this individual, and she says, obviously you believe in AI Slop. I said, no, you misunderstand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I believe in efficiency. I believe in making things more efficient for all of us, but not AI. The big difference between AI Slop and efficiency, what you guys are describing is not AI Slop. Yeah. It's efficiency. It's about processes and codes or whatever else it might be to help us make our life easier, to make us more efficient. And that way we can use our staff for other more value-add activities.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a tool like anything else.
But the concept out there in the industry is, use AI Slop. No. So we need to get this out more. I'm glad we're talking about it.
And I think that's the misunderstanding, especially in the NDIS I've seen. I've seen it in a lot of other sectors. There's AI being used outbound in a very effective manner. Things like jewelry brands or things like clothing startups, right?
Yeah.
They're using Higgsfield and Claude, and they're
Yes.
creating all their marketing from that. But the difference, I guess, with the NDIS is that it's so people focused that people love AI and hate AI at the same time.
Correct.
Right? So every time they see something that's AI, they're like, oh, that's AI. I don't like that.
I know.
But when it comes to creating potentially their own posts, it's the easiest way out. So I
Correct.
think like the misunderstanding always lies where we need to be using AI internally a lot more, and especially, let's say, as a team. So
Correct.
we've got 11 people in office here. Right? Everyone is on an enterprise Claude plan. And what makes it so much better than, let's say, individual plans is that I'm able to share with Saranga the context of a chat that I may be having. Because as working as a team, we intersect so often. Right? So if you had a team of BDMs at 365K, I'm not 100% sure, but you would be able to share all of the context from your chats within the team, within Claude, and internally it's magic.
Imagine the efficiencies you gain from that.
Exactly. And so what we've started doing is for all of our internal documentation. So when we're setting up businesses, we think about SOPs, we think about standards, we think about policies, procedures. All we do now is jump on a meeting, transcribe the whole thing, use the brand guidelines, and every document looks the same, and every document has the same feel, and it just pulls from the transcript and creates everything like that. So it's
good on you.
Yeah, you gotta use it
Gotta do more.
effectively. Yeah.
You got to use it smart. like Abs mentioned, like so human centric, the NDIS. Like you don't want to go overboard with AI, which is probably why this like the everyone.
We value trust. We value the human side of it. That's the most important thing about NDIS is that part of it. But let's not put our head in the sand and say no. I don't want to see this. I don't want to touch this. Yeah. It's going to give you some efficiencies.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why our social media is like reels of like people. Like we like moved on from just like static imagery to, hey, this is us. Like we're not afraid of like we are, come see us. And it's actually been really well because people recognize Abs at events. Hey, I saw your
handsome man.
The real.
Boom, boom.
Look at that.
I think when you do your speeches, people are going to recognize you anyway, right?
Okay.
Yeah, big time. No, AI is massive, and then you sit there and your credits run out. And you're like,
well, guess how
Who's got the credit card? Top up.
yeah.
Like I imagine, like having Fable 5 for even like the few weeks we had it was.
How good was Fable 5? Oh, we're like, now it says I got the email says, your credits now will be years. I said, give me the credits. I don't care. Fable 5 is awesome. Fable 5. Yeah. I like Sonnet. I like the Opus, but Fable 5 just does a lot more. Yeah.
Different level.
It's so different.
100%. So, I guess learning more about you, right? Yeah. Like we've met often. We've met a lot, and
I've known you guys for a long time.
Yeah. eZaango itself has been around. Saranga and I relatively new comparatively to we're like infants.
Yeah, only just met Con at Venice Enormous event a month or so ago.
So tell me about, I've got a big rap sheet here about you, right? So 15 plus years in public sector, learning and development.
No, more than 15. Sorry.
More than 15.
More than 15.
15
more
plus,
than 15,
right? And an auditor and director at the ATO.
Yeah. Let me give you the background. Won't take long. Hopefully the film is enough film in there. The role ready to go. But okay, being a nice little boy from my good background, you mainly at those days we would follow sort of directions of what other people were doing.
Yep.
So the old man says, no, you've got to be in the profession somewhere. So, of course, I go to university, do the best I can. I become an accountant.
Okay.
So as I become an accountant, I started looking for opportunities. One of the opportunities that came up was a public service. And I also had, I remember this, I had the ANZ Bank. I had a letter of offer from the ANZ Bank. I had the public service. And the public service was an interesting one. I applied for general for the public service. Then all of a sudden I get a telegram. Remember those telegrams? They used to call them telegrams. Please come to 350 Collins Street, which is where the tax office was. Stop. Talk to Jane. Stop. See you 8:30 Monday, 17th of January, 1983. Stop. So, what's this? Stop. Yeah. So I roll up to this place. I've got a job.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've gone to the tax office. It was really good those days because the tax office had an ageing workforce, and they were looking to reinvigorate their workforce. So they brought in a lot of graduates, and I was part of the first, what they called its trainee taxation officers program. So they brought in all these new trainees, and the beauty of it was because they wanted to, what is the old populate a parish, so they needed people to come in the organisation. There was quite a few of us that got in. So we came in at the right time. So we managed to move through very, very quickly and be promoted, but also we did our time. So I eventually ended up there 32 years. So I got one of those voluntary redundancy packages back in 2014. So from there, I started off as a tax auditor, a tax investigator. You started, the low cases, then you move up slowly. Yeah. But after about 20 years in that, I realised that I needed a change. And being a big organisation, there was an opportunity to diversify. So I moved into HR. And that's, guys, where I really found my calling. Being a people person, I realised,
definitely.
Auditing was good and all that, but I did it more because there was a need and it paid the bills. Once I found HR and I found learning and development, and I found that area, I go, wow, this is awesome. So I became a learning development director, and myself and about 3 other people were in charge of the whole learning development for the whole ATO. So we're talking about 26,000 people at that time. Yeah. We developed the whole strategy, the whole process. We had people below us who were trainers, facilitators, technical experts, but we developed a strategy around how do we educate and get all our staff up to skill, but not only with technical things like the tax laws, but also leadership, soft skills, all those other soft skills. So we did all that, and then I got a package in 2014, and then I thought, what do I do now? And my wife goes, you got to get a job. I said, well, no, I got to. The package is paying up. I can sit home and watch Netflix all day. She goes, you're not watching Netflix. Yeah. So being a public servant, I had to sort of revamp myself. So I managed to get a job with an e-learning company called Kineo, which is a really good company. They do a lot of bespoke e-learning development and all of learning management systems. They had one called Totara. So, and because I started using socials too at that time, I had a really big following on Twitter. I had about 15,000 followers on Twitter. And they said to me, look, you've got a really good network, you're really highly regarded in the learning space. Come with us, we'll help you, we'll teach you how to sell, because I've been a public servant, I've never sold anything in my life. But we need you to bring your network with you. So I brought up my network, my connections and all that, and I said, yeah, good deal. That's it. So I came there, was top salesman 2 years in a row, then I got headhunted, and from there I moved on to other opportunities. But that's my journey into BDM. But what happened for me, the most important thing where I am today, was that during that time, as I became a BDM, I realised there was one powerful platform that not many people were tapping into, LinkedIn. At that stage, yeah, this is 2008, 2009, I started using it. I shut down my Twitter.
All 15,000 followers gone.
I shut down Twitter. I said, guys, I'm going to LinkedIn because so I got, most of them came across, not all of them, most of them came across. And once I found LinkedIn, it was amazing. Yeah, once I found LinkedIn, it was all amazing. Just skyrocketed, you know. From there, I managed to become a top salesman for 2 years in a row with the software company I was working with. I managed to get and every other opportunity, every job, every opportunity I've ever had has always come from LinkedIn. Yeah. And that's why I've developed my skills in it more and more. And now I try to help others with that. As you see, I share a lot on LinkedIn about LinkedIn, how to do it better, how to write, how to promote, all those type of things.
Yeah, what's your follow count now for LinkedIn? Sorry? It's close to 10,000 now, at least.
No. Look, one thing I'm not a vanity metrics person. Yeah. I do knock back a lot of people. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of connections. I've got about 6,000, but that's my doing. I can get to 10,000 like that. I'll knock back about maybe 5 to 10 a day. People want to connect with me. If not related to my industry or I can't see some mutual beneficial benefit, me too, both ways, I don't accept. And I say to people about LinkedIn, if you're going to try to connect with someone outside of your sphere, outside of your industry, make it a bit of a personal connection. Yeah. Hey, Con, I like what you share about this, and this. I know I'm not in NDIS, but I'd love to connect with you and learn more about what you do. Yes, I'll accept it. But just send me a connection request and you're based in Afghanistan or you're based in Nigeria and you're a marketer. With all due respect, I don't have a need for marketer skills. I don't have a need for an Afghanistan person. I will not connect with. I mean, it's not about Afghanistan. It's about people overseas. Yeah. I don't have a need for that industry. I don't have a need for that sort of connection. I don't see a mutual beneficial relationship occurring. Yeah. So I ignore that one, especially when it's not personalised. So it's not about what country they're from. It could be from Greece. It could be from Italy. I don't care. It's got to be mutually beneficial to both of us. Yeah. So I try to maintain my connection within Australia and probably more within Victoria, and also with those that I can believe there's a mutual beneficial connection. You could be a mortgage broker, you could be a finance expert, you could be a construction manager. I don't care. But there is a mutual beneficial relationship occurring. That's what I'm interested in. Make sense?
Yeah, because activity and exclusivity, they're also important. You're surrounding yourself with the right people as well.
But because what's happened now, and we'll probably delve into the details here, but what's happened now with LinkedIn? LinkedIn has come up with what they call the Brew 360 or 360 Brew. So what happens now is LinkedIn is very much focused on who your network is and what your niche is, and it will continue to give you traction and push you out based on what you are sharing and what your niche is. So they've got this sophisticated AI. They read your profile. They read what kind of things you're posting, and then they see who you're connected with. So then, based on that, they say, yep, this is a good conversation. Let's keep pushing it out. But if you get people, let's say, from the Philippines or Afghanistan or from South Africa commenting on your posts that are just digital marketers, LinkedIn goes, hold on, Con's not a digital marketer. Con's an NDIS provider. He's sharing NDIS information. There's something going on here. That conversation, they push out. And that's why it's working, this LinkedIn Brew 360.
Very interesting.
Very focused on who you are. That's why I say to people, get your niche correct on LinkedIn. Remember we were talking before about confusing the market. Make sure you know what you are, what your niche is. Swim in that lane, and LinkedIn will appreciate that and reward you for that.
Or like as the Americans say, niches get riches, right? They pronounce it
I
weird.
love that. Yes, that's
They
right.
pronounce it weird.
So we've gone a bit of a tangent, but that's just a bit of a
That's what this is for,
bit of
right?
value there about people and what they
This
can
is
do.
for, right? So like if you had to give someone, for example, Arish, our marketing intern, he's just started his LinkedIn. If you had to give someone a 60-second breakdown of top priorities, right, 1 through 5, let's say 10 seconds each, what would you say?
Okay. The most important part is LinkedIn is going to be now and also will be your new business card. As you'll see now, you go to events, people get a business cards, and the next thing they'd probably ask you, are you on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
So if you're going to be on LinkedIn, be on LinkedIn. That's my view. All right. So we'll talk about that. If you're going to be on LinkedIn, be on LinkedIn. Don't just have a profile, abs, BDM, or senior director or director of eZaango. I mean, that's great. It's really good. And congratulations to Abs for having that title. But it's about who Abs is, what value he adds, and how he can make a difference to me. All right.
Yeah, I've been slacking on my LinkedIn actually.
That's all right. I'm not being critical. I'm just giving an example.
No,
right?
no, yeah.
So in that young intern, first thing is get your banner correct. If you work for eZaango, have an eZaango banner. Yeah. And my view has always been, if you work for eZaango, everyone in eZaango on LinkedIn should have the same banner. That way I want to see your profile, his profile, their profile. I know you all work for the same company. Hey, I know that brand. Bang. I know Abs there. Yeah, bang. That's it. It's about familiarity breeds connections. Second thing is put a nice picture of yourself. Something above the shoulders, could be a bit of slanting, smiling. You don't have to go to a studio. White background, get your partner, get a colleague, take a picture of you smiling. It's a bit of a solid background. Don't have a picture from the last wedding you went to or the last sort of event you went to with a couple of mates, had a couple of beers, That's the worst thing you can do. Yeah. All right? Nice little professional photo, smiling. You don't have to smile like a passport photo. Just a bit of show that you are you're happy to receive attention. That's the most important thing. So your banner and your profile picture is what the first thing people will look at. The next thing they're going to look at is they're going to go down and see what the profile headline. Yes, people have founder, people have BDM, and I have it in there somewhere about growth partnerships manager. But the first thing you want to do is articulate what value you add. And why is that important? Because Google loves LinkedIn, LinkedIn loves Google. So when Google indexes you on its Google platform, the first thing it's going to look at is those first 3 or 4 lines of your profile. And that's what it's going to index you on the platform. If you ever Google yourself in an incognito mode, I guarantee you the first 2 or 3 results will be your LinkedIn profile. Guaranteed. Unless you're very popular in the media or somewhere else, it's different. But guaranteed your profile will be the first 2 or 3 results.
Yeah.
Google loves it. So that's my next tip is to get your banner right, your heading, and then your profile, headline. The next thing there is also then to start going to your about section. That's the third one. The about section is about where you can tell us more about who you are. But the about section should be written from the I perspective. I have a child. It's a bit like using the STAR model. You know the STAR model?
Yep.
What were some of the tasks I had? What role did I play? What were some of the results I achieved? Yep. Use that STAR model as a base. And AI here can be your friend, but customize it to make sure it conveys your message. Okay? Yep. So that's about section. Once you get your about section bedded down, look, you can talk about the experience section. But when you talk about the experience section, and I've got to look at, I went to a session yesterday and I've got to really look at my, I'm always learning, look at my experience. Try to make your experience sections relevant to what you are doing and what you are currently doing or what you have done in the past. So mine's got a lot about my public service career and all that. It's probably out of date now. So we need to adjust it to make it more relevant to what I'm doing now. And lastly, the one that not many people do, and this is why I said this is the one that many people miss, recommendations. LinkedIn is all about us talking about ourselves. I've done this, I'm a director, I'm a growth and partnership manager, this is my picture, this is what I do, but there's only one place where someone else puts their name on the line to talk about you. That's recommendations. Your living, breathing references. People recommend you. That means they've seen your services, they know who you are, they've worked with you. And you know what? Their profile, their face, their link is there. You can't hide.
It's building credibility.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So what I have done in the past, I will click on that recommendation and say, hey, George, I see you recommended Abs here. Tell us a bit more. I mean, I'm looking to work with Abs. I'm looking to engage Abs. Yeah, tell us a bit more about abs. What, how did he help you? Give me some information. And George responds, he goes, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, great. I've got some knowledge about abs more than just a recommendation. But people always forget that one at the bottom there. It's called the social proof of every profile. That's my tips for your intern.
Beautiful.
Intern, was it an intern? Sorry, I might
Intern,
have
yeah. Intern, yeah. We'll pass it on.
Yeah.
He'll enjoy that.
I mean, he's gonna help us edit this here.
Well, he does all this. He'll watch it, yeah.
He'll watch it, he'll listen.
he'll be
Good
listening.
watch.
Yeah.
Tell him to give me a call.
He's watching it from 2 cameras, man. 2 cameras, 3 microphones.
You can all the angles.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, LinkedIn has been massive. It's been strange for me to set up to, because over the past like 2 or 3 years, I've built up quite a following on Instagram, doing something entirely unrelated, posting fitness content and gym advice. And transitioning from Instagram to LinkedIn was not as similar as I thought it would be.
Yeah,
right?
it's different.
Because on Instagram, it's so much more casual. It's so much more casual. And
Correct.
it's kind of that whole idea of someone will come to your profile and scroll, right? Mm-hmm. And if they don't make it past that first 3 seconds, they're gone. While that still applies to LinkedIn, I find myself stuck in these like essays that I never thought I would read, like paragraphs and paragraphs of value that people are posting online for free. And every time I go into one of those profiles, they're full, numbers not being as relevant as maybe we think, but there's a lot of engagement, even if they only have even potentially less than 500. After 500, you can't see, right?
Correct.
But even if they have 300 or 200 and they're posting really, really valuable content, the engagement of that is so high. 50, 60 comments, right? Like 200 interactions. Everyone who saw that post liked it.
Yeah.
It was insane. And I still haven't figured it out because I don't post on LinkedIn because
you need to.
I know. It's one of those things that I keep just like kicking myself about on Monday. Yeah. Right? It's like you have that big list of stuff that you'll start next week, right?
Exactly.
I think I tell them once a month. I tell them once a month. I tell them I'm going to start posting on LinkedIn, man.
Yeah. But what you talked about there, sorry.
So, the third layer of LinkedIn, right?
Yeah. So we were talking there before that. That's the third pillar of LinkedIn, which is about content creation and thought leadership. So you talked there about the situation of that person, didn't have many connections, posted something, and there all the engagement. Once you can find that niche, you create content that gets engagement, that starts telling LinkedIn, hey, you're an expert in the field. People are enjoying what you're saying. People are interacting. LinkedIn loves conversations. LinkedIn now, more than ever, is rewarding interactions, conversations. The emojis, not as much. The like or maybe a smiley face or an insightful, they're good. But I encourage people, if you do find something interesting, comment on it. But more than just, hey, great share abs. No good. Great share abs. I really enjoyed this because of blah, blah, blah. All right? Give me some content. And if you're going to repost it, even better. All right? But that's what you're doing with the abs is really good because that's a component. Again, people, they create a profile, they get it already up and running, but they don't post. Yeah. And posting is a very real part of it. Yeah. Very important part of LinkedIn. Yeah. Position yourself as a thought expert.
Big time. I have like...
like Raj actually showed us like a post like a couple of months ago. It's just a guy, a big leader, thought leader in the business, but he doesn't post very often. Like every maybe 3 months. But every 3 months, he pretty much writes out an essay. And it's like, this is post 0 of 5. He actually starts with,
I remember this post.
This post 1 of something.
There was 6.
He doesn't even know how much he's going to talk about. And he just posts like 6, 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
And on the last post, he's like, okay, this is the last one. And it's just him, something he learned for like 2 months. I need to get it out there. This is my, pretty much his brain. He's just speaking.
You can write articles you want to do. You can do an article allows you to be more detailed if you want to. And articles are good. Newsletters doing very well on LinkedIn. Yeah. So if you've got a newsletter and a LinkedIn newsletter, it goes well.
Are you still running the Weekly Warrior?
No, I haven't had time, Habs. I know it used to be good. What I used to do with that one is to sort of try to summarise what's happening in the industry. But I find there's probably enough out there at the moment. The NDIS is pushing out enough updates and all that. But I used to have a LinkedIn section, used to have an AI section, used to have an NDIS update section. I need to probably go back and revisit that. I found I had a good subscriber base, but I just found that people were getting those updates via other sources, and they weren't really keen on that. the AI side of it, yes, people were enjoying it, but it was also confusing the market a bit. So I thought, no, I need to focus on just one niche. Yeah, so that's what I did.
It's confusing. The market thing is something we were discussing before
Yeah.
we started filming. I was only in it for 10 seconds because I thought I want to save this for the recording.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Internal. Like we obviously you're who you are, right? And I'm who I am. And if we started talking, we could talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. So I really thought, like, let me just hang on, like, just hold off for 2 seconds. Right? So this whole confusing the market. Okay, so I have also actually found that a lot of people on social media and even in real life, they're running 5, 6, 7 projects that they're working on.
Yeah.
And Con was saying this term confusing the market, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So can you break down that one for me, especially for NDIS providers?
Look, I think it's important that if you are in a particular area, that you hone in on a niche. Again, niche gets the riches, but honing on an area of expertise, and honing on something that you're going to be memorable for. So we have a lot of people who've got projects, different projects. And there's other ways to promote that. For example, if you've got a different project, LinkedIn allows you to create numerous company pages or showcase pages. So you might have a company page, and underneath that you can create a showcase page for Project X, showcase page for Project Y. So you can do that in other ways. But on your personal profile, because people buy from people.
Yes.
That's why company pages on LinkedIn are great, and probably some company page expert on LinkedIn is going to be watching this and say, no, he's wrong. My view, and I've done this a lot of times, people don't engage as much with company pages and posts as they do with personal profiles. Because we all know, we've all been in sales. People buy from people.
Yeah.
That's why, again, go back to connections. If I don't see a picture of someone who sends me a connection request, I don't connect with them. Or some people, what's happening now, and I'm going to digress quickly, what's happening with a lot of NDIS providers, they're creating profiles with their business name under
Yes.
LinkedIn personal profile.
This makes no sense to me.
And I've written to a couple of these people, and one of them actually said, what do you know? I said, that's okay. I hang back and said, that's okay. I don't know much at all. Check my profile out. You might get to see what I do know. But anyway, they get upset when you actually challenge them. But this is the wrong way of doing it, guys, because a company page should not be represented via a personal LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
If you're going to be out on LinkedIn, put your picture there. Tell us you're
Yeah.
tell us you're a director of eZaango.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have it as that page. Anyway, so go back to what we were discussing. I apologize for the digression. If you start developing your niche and creating that brand for you, and I say to people, give it 6 to 8 months. So if you've got a couple of projects, focus on one that's important to you now. So we've all got projects. Okay, at the moment we've got this project. This is important for us. Create our profile, position that profile around that particular project, and post, interact, and comment on that particular aspect of what we're focusing on. People then start seeing you and seeing you being the person for that particular area.
Exactly right.
Okay? So you'll see at the moment what I'm doing my interviews now live from events. Because I want people to see that Con, it goes to events, Con's connected, Con knows people, and Con can help you collaborate with other providers.
Con walks around with a selfie stick. Every time I see a selfie on LinkedIn, I know it's Con.
Okay. And I've got the name The Old Man with the Selfie Stick now, which is, I don't mind. I love it. It's The Old Man with the Selfie Stick.
It's great.
I like it. It's a great concept to
Catchy.
have. Yeah, exactly right. And it's a brand.
Exactly.
And it's thing. So, and what that does is helps me and 365K because people say, oh, I want to talk to Con. And what does Con do? And this is what I've discussed with my director too. I say that via providing value in other ways and positioning ourselves that way, people get familiar with who Con is, who 365Care is, and then come and you attract that honey by positioning yourself out there. So position yourself out there in that niche. Don't confuse the market. So if you're an NDIS provider and you're going to be a business consultant or you want to be a marketing consultant, decide where you're going to be. Are you going to focus on NDIS provision of services? Are you going to focus on marketing? Are you going to focus on business consulting? Are you going to focus on digital marketing? Whatever the case may be. All right? Decide what you're going to do. And then, once you decide what you do, those other little projects you have on the side, you can bring them across through a showcase page or bring them through in other ways. Once you've got your niche, we're talking about the LinkedIn Brew 360, that's going to reward you and say, yep, Con does this is his profile, these are people he's connected with, these are people who talk to him on LinkedIn, bang.
And what I found from personal experience running businesses and attempting. So when I was running my PT business, I was also training for a full Ironman. Right?
Wow.
So I was riding 3 times a week. I was swimming 3 times a week. I was doing 4 runs, and I was doing around 35 PT sessions a week.
Wow.
And what I found is that I sucked at all of it. Right?
But you did them.
No, I did them. I did them. I don't deny that I did them, but I
Wow.
sucked at all of them.
Wow,
Right?
okay.
So I didn't progress massively in either the swim or the bike. Right? My business didn't grow in that period.
Yep.
What I did get really good at was running, because I just spent the most time running. And learning from that, what I ended up figuring out is you can't. The human mind is not wired to do multiple things at once.
Correct.
It doesn't matter what you tell yourself.
Correct.
Right? And from a neurological point of view, because I have a science background, right? So I have a degree in science. From a neurological background, what people assume to be multitasking is actually just rapid switches of focus, which means you're not giving anything to anything,
Okay.
and all of your pots end up burnt, right? It's like you can't cook 4 things on a stove and expect all 4 of them to be perfect.
Yeah.
So how's that helped you, Abs, in moving forward?
Well, what it does is I have become rigid, and I don't want to use the term OCD because it's not a diagnosed thing, but I have become incredibly anal about my calendar. Okay, my calendar is colorful. My calendar is blocked out. Every hour or every 90-minute block, I switch tasks, but I will never ever do multiple tasks at once.
Okay.
So I'm always blocked out.
You know what's great? Like you told me, like she said it so many times. If it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
If you want a meeting with me, if you want to have a chat, put it in the calendar.
Yeah.
Otherwise, out of sight, out of
Well,
mind.
that's classic time manager 101.
Yeah.
That is.
But what it also allows me to do is having let's say your job is you have 5 aspects in your job, X, Y, Z, right? I have different colors for those things, and
Yep.
I know that, hey, like when I have a red block in my calendar, it means this. I'm focusing on this. I'm not doing this,
Exactly right.
this.
Yep.
And you actually complete that task efficiently and well, right? Like I couldn't name a single person who I've said, hey, can you do this, and this, and do them all right now, and do them all to a high standard. It's like when I don't know if you've been through this. You definitely have. It's like when you had guests coming over and you're little, right? And your mum gives you a big rap sheet. You need to wash the clean the benches and the kitchen table, and you need to vacuum the rug,
Exactly.
and the floor needs a mop. It's like, okay, mom, no problems. And then 10 minutes later, she's like, why haven't you done all this? It's like, just slow down. Slow down, all right? It's like, I can do one thing at a time.
Exactly, yeah.
I cannot humanly clean my room and vacuum the rug at the
Exactly
same
right.
time.
Exactly right.
Right? So it's just like, for me, it's stupid levels of organization. It's stupid.
So have you heard of the Pomodoro technique?
I have heard of the Pomodoro technique.
I use
It
that a
got
lot. My
me
son
through,
got
yeah.
me. My son being autistic.
Yeah.
He used that a lot for his
Yeah.
when he does. That's how he focuses. So he got me this little thing. So I got it on my desk.
Yeah.
If I'm focusing on a task, I turn it on. So I go, this task is going to take 20 minutes. I put a 20-minute timer. It sits on my desk. And I'll always look across. And go, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, but it keeps me focused.
Yes.
And I go, then the alarm goes off. I said, okay, I'm going to finish off. No, ding. Okay, I've got to stop it there.
For the
It's a really good
uninitiated,
technique.
what is that technique? Because I have no idea what you're
So
talking about.
it's a you have a allocated. So I use the Pomodoro in a 1 hour block, right?
Yeah.
So you allocate a certain amount of time on, and then a specific amount of time off. So let's say I know a lot of students. I started using it when I was studying.
Yes, a lot of students use it.
So whenever I was doing exam prep, it would be 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off. 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off. And 15 minutes off doesn't mean like sit at your desk and scroll. It means get up, move, go make a
It's
coffee.
a reward.
Make a tea. Exactly.
It's a reward that you've completed a task. You reward yourself by that 15, 5,
Yeah.
10 minutes off.
It's
yeah.
a Pavlovian system.
Exactly right. It comes from that sort of, is it a fruit? Whatever it is, I don't know, a Pomodoro. Like, that's where they
I've got no idea.
that's where it comes, the word comes from that.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's about focus, reward. Focus, reward.
It's like an exercise, right? Like you do your set and you get a minute rest.
Exactly
It works
right.
a lot with neurodivergent individuals, and my son loves it, and it's been proven to work with, because they are very task focused.
Structure,
Structures.
right?
Thank you, yes.
Like I remember I watched Alex Hormozy. I love Alex Hormozy.
Yeah,
right?
oh, yeah, we all
And I watched one of his videos where it was like, look, like, if you think you're busy, okay, for tomorrow or the day after, and I've told the director of a company to do this. I said, okay, like I'm gonna send you an Excel spreadsheet, and from 8:30 to 6:30, it's gonna have 15-minute blocks. At the end of each 15-minute block, take 5 minutes and write down exactly what you did in that 15-minute block.
Yep.
And you would be surprised how much of that Excel sheet comes up absolutely empty.
Exactly.
But like it provides so much structure where it's like, okay, I got 15 minutes. What have I done for this spreadsheet block?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then it would like kind of push you to actually achieve something in that 15 minutes. Because it's all psychological. If you see an empty space, like I need to fill it.
Correct.
So you're going to be more efficient in the next 15 minutes.
And how many people have you met that have said, I'm too busy?
Exactly.
Everyone.
Like Abe said, it's not about, you look at your socials, you're looking at this, you focus on the one task. It gives you structure and focus. So a lot of us are say, okay, I've got an email, just quickly check the email. No, you don't. You're on that task. I'll check the email after this period's over, not during that period.
Exactly.
Whereas a lot of us, ding, email goes, ding, the phone goes, ding, this goes.
Yeah.
I've got to check them. Well, you structure yourself, you train yourself, you focus, you move on. Unless it's, well, I say to my family, if someone's dying, we don't worry about it.
Break that down for me. Unless someone's dying, did you say?
Unless we're here.
Okay, sorry,
unless
I
it's a
misheard
life
you.
and death situation, that's what I'm
I
trying to say.
misheard. I
So my
misheard.
apologies.
I thought you said
Yeah.
if someone's
Yeah,
dying,
unless
we
it's
don't
a
worry
life and
about
death
it.
situation.
We'll wait
that-
15 minutes, guys.
Yeah, unless we can wait for that email, we can wait for that message to be answered,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So
Yeah, definitely.
that's why I say to my kids, if you're going to message me during the day, just say urgent, not urgent.
Yeah.
That way I know. If it's
Big time.
urgent, I'll let it. There goes Pomodoro, sorry. But if it's
Yeah.
not urgent,
Yeah.
it doesn't get
Yeah.
attended to till later on. That's what I'm trying to say. Unless it's
But
a
it's
life
just
and
about
death.
it's like what this like initially started as like focus, right?
Yeah,
or like
exactly right.
like being able to actually do one thing at a time instead of confusing the market.
Correct. Yeah,
Right?
that's it.
So like if you had tried to reply to your son's urgent text and written the email
Exactly.
at the same time, neither one would have gone out.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
They're just competing with each other.
Exactly right.
What else may help? Sorry, because I hate this term. I'm too busy. I despise it. I despise it because the first thing I say to people, like if you had asked me if we were at an event, and I said, "Hey Con, can you give this a read for me? It'll take 5 minutes." He said, "No, God, I don't have 5 minutes, man. I'm too busy." The first thing I'll ask you is to pull out your phone and show me a screen time. And if your screen time's above 3 hours,
Yeah.
you're not you have 3 extra hours here, mate. Like, you know, and like another great tip that I always pass on to anyone who asks is putting your phone in grayscale.
Yep.
So making it black and white, and it just switches off that dopamine in your brain that's like, oh my God, colors. You put your phone in grey, and then it becomes boring, and then you don't look at it. And I'm always the most productive with my phone is in grey.
Yes.
Don't think that'll work for
That's
me.
good.
I read books. It's all black and white.
Exactly.
Well, you're actually very interesting in that way where I'm going to let you explain how your brain works
Yeah.
to Con.
So this is going to sound weird because I'm in marketing. I do a lot of content creation, but
Tell
I
us.
can't imagine colors or textures or sounds or anything like that.
How did you discover this? How did you?
I only discovered it at 31 years old. Sorry, 30 years old. I'm 31 now. At 30 years old, my friend's like, so I have another friend who reads a lot of books. And she's like, oh yeah, when I read, I see movies in my head. And I was like, what do you mean you see movies in your head? Because all I ever see is, imagine like shadows on a wall. That's kind of what I see.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
see textures or anything. In fact, growing up, you know those like police sketch artists?
Yeah.
I always sounded like, how do people remember how like something that, unless I make an actual note, you're wearing a hat right now.
Yeah.
If I didn't make that mental note, I would not even remember if you wore a hat or not.
Okay.
If I don't make that mental note, because I cannot see it in my head anymore.
Wow.
Which is why like my favorite books are books that have been made into like a movie or a TV,
Yes,
so I can
yes.
see, oh, so this is what they were trying to describe. So I don't see textures, so I can't see details in faces. And I asked this like random question. When people say, oh, picture this, I never thought that was literal. I just thought it was just something, figurative. Like,
Figures it out.
it's
Picture
like,
this means actually
it's like,
picture this.
look at this new room. Oh, picture this. I'm going to put my bed
Or just
here.
imagine this.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh, cool. Yeah, I can. Yeah, you're moving your bed. That's awesome. But they literally meant, oh, my bed will go there. In their mind, they can see a bed there.
Talking about books and movies, don't watch The Odyssey unless you read the book.
Okay.
Yes, The Odyssey was beautiful.
Yeah, but the book's better. The book's much more.
Of course.
Yeah.
I started reading The Odyssey, but then I realized I had to read
The Iliad.
the Iliad first
Yes,
because it's
exactly
chronological.
right.
You got to read
Exactly
that one.
right.
So,
It follows the
so I was
chronology.
reading the forward, which is like 80 pages
Yep,
in the Odyssey.
exactly.
And I'm
It's
like,
huge.
this is great. And then she was talking about the Iliad so much
Yeah.
in the past. Like, okay, Am I supposed to read the Iliad first? So
That's part of the journey.
yeah,
yes.
so let me read the Iliad because
Yeah, exactly right.
and my dad, like, he buys, so I use it to the library because
Okay.
the amount of books I read, like, I'll be broke very,
Wow.
very quickly.
Okay.
I see him go through 3 a week.
Yeah.
Minimum.
You sorry?
I see him go through 3 books a week. Minimum.
Wow. You
Yeah, it's just what I like.
hard copies or audio?
Hard copies.
Hard copies.
Kindles, hard copies.
Yeah, okay, so the Kindle book debate. Kindle's amazing because I like carrying a dictionary around. Like, now that I have a phone, I can just quickly look up a word. But with the Kindle, you can just highlight it and it'll just tell you immediately. But the texture of the feel of the book in my hand, the weight of it, and even like looking at everyone on the train on their phone and I'm on my book, like, I feel better. I know that sounds bad.
Oh, look at me, look at me.
And I kid you not, when there's always that, somewhat crazy person on the train platform that's yelling at people using phones and I have a book, never yells at me, just skips me.
This is a good story too.
You know what? You remind me of my daughter. My daughter was a real. We've got books at home still. She's married, left, but we just got all the books together. She was a real book, but she always wanted the hard copy.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other day we went to the football during the half time. I see she gets her tablet. She's reading a Kindle book. I said, "So what's going on?" She says, "Oh, it's much more convenient."
Sorry again for the interruption, because in the edit it'll be just like a abrupt finish. Sorry again for the interruption. Our room is very hot. So before we wrap all this up, we've asked you here. We'd love to learn about 365k. I know you very well. If I ever needed to get in touch with someone, I'd ask you. I'd message you on LinkedIn. But I know nothing about the company itself.
Okay.
So tell me more.
So 365 has been around for about 18 to 24 months. I mean, it's been started by a director called Varun. He was in the disability sector for quite a while, was a support worker for quite a while. Very intelligent person, very sophisticated, very much in tune with what's happening in the industry. So he decided to start thinking about helping people out with housing and providing services in houses. But what is unique about us, and I suppose a lot of people say this, but we prove it with what we deliver, is we focus a lot on complex behaviours and behaviours of concern. So that's those psychosocial individuals. We have worked with Guardianship Victoria, and we get a lot of the individuals that are probably hard cases or people don't really want to deal with them a lot. So we manage to accommodate them. What we value a lot is our staff. We provide a lot of positive behaviour support training to our staff. We've got a positive behaviour support consultant on our books who does a lot of training with our staff. We've also don't have as much churn in our staff. We look after our staff, we train our staff, so we don't have much churn. So there's a lot of consistency in the way we do things, and Varun does a lot of hands-on support with the staff, very hands-on. So at the moment we don't want to get too big. We position ourselves as a boutique provider. So we've got probably about maybe 7 to 8, depending on where particular houses are participants. Not bad for 18 months going. Looking to expand further around the inner suburbs, probably more a bit towards Geelong. Also want to go towards Ballarat if we can. But looking to find appropriate individuals. When I say appropriate, the people we want to help. Still in those complex behaviours, and so looking to work with level 3 support coordinators who deal in complex behaviours and help accommodate and facilitate quality of life for people to continue to live in a full life, a good life in houses that we've got other participants with them. So if someone wants to go to McDonald's at 3 o'clock in the morning, we can facilitate that. If someone wants to play loud music at 1 o'clock in the morning, we have our staff who are in tune with that and can actually support individuals in that type of environment. So that's who we are. I've been there now nearly 6 months, so I probably will continue for another 6 months, I think, as we go along and see how we go. But at the moment, looking to really boost it up and really get a lot more traction happening. So I'm getting out there a lot more and actually talking to a lot of people.
I never knew about 365k before you started there, and I think it again comes back to this person that it's not just you work for a company, but you have your own personal brand too.
Correct.
Which makes it so easy for you to connect with more people.
Correct.
Because I remember almost every expo I go to, I look around, I say, "Where's Con?"
He's somewhere.
He's always somewhere. I look around and I say, "Where's Con?"
I'm becoming a bit more discerning, but lately
Is it?
I'm not going to be going to as many.
Yeah.
I'm going to focus on some certain events. I like the more intimate ones, I like more the ones that coffee catch up. So I find them because there's one more conversation happens. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's probably a place for sort of the speed networking ones and all that. There's probably is a need for that. But I prefer now to go to more the intimate ones, the more personal ones. We can actually get a personal connection, spend 5 minutes with someone, move on, talk to someone else.
And I do love that that conversation is more flexible than
Correct.
potentially some of the more rigid events.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's a place for
the speed networking ones are fine. They're great. I
exactly,
love them.
It's good to get
Very
out there.
efficient.
Yeah, exactly right. You get some exposure. You get
Yeah.
some traction. You
Yeah.
meet a lot. You get to meet a lot of people in one day. You do. They're really good. More for me now because I'm, with all due respect, known in the market. People know who I am. I like to go to more of those intimate coffee catch-ups where I can meet those people in more a different surrounding, different setting, and have those more active conversations and how we can help each other.
Yeah. And then you get to that second layer of relationship as well.
Exactly right.
Just coming back to 365K, it really does sound like you found an NDIS provider that almost exactly aligns with your niche, with your values, with your
Exactly right.
personal thoughts.
No, I've
and
been very lucky. I mean, the director Varun has been amazing. He's believed in me and what I value I bring, and I've also very much valued his freedom that he's given me to be able to go out there and talk about 365 care. The most important part for us in the beginning was to get the brand out there, and like you said, now you know who we are. For us, it was important to get the brand, who we are, what we do, how we operate. And that's what I'm proud of. We've got that brand out there. The next stage for me and for the business is now accelerate to providing more services for people, whether they be short-term stays, medium-term stays, or even longer-term stays in houses. So that's where our next challenge is. And we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm pretty confident because we're registered, we're ethical, we're genuine, we're credible. So all those things people can see and associate with us. So we'll go well.
Definitely. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Con.
Thanks,
and I do look forward to seeing all the clips and the full podcast being posted. And eZaango will be in contact with you for the next steps.
Yeah.
But this has been a lovely time, and we'll see you all in the next pod.
Love seeing you again.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Perfect. Cheers. Lovely. Awesome.